Yes, people, welcome back to Mission Podcast. And today we're revisiting the world of MMA and, in particular, UFC 314 just around the corner. And I've got Danny and Umair, your regulars, and I'm joined by special guests Michael SNM and Fatso Flash to
Hello.
discuss UFC. Yeah, so we're going to discuss UFC 314. We're going to preview it, give our predictions, and yeah, let's not waste any more time. Starting off, well, should we go top to bottom or should we just start off with the big
Mm,
boys?
let's start off with the newbies. Give one of them a chance.
Cool. Let's talk about the main event, right? So we've got Volkanovski versus Lopez. Now, originally this was going to be Volk versus Tapuria, but obviously he's moved up. And now we've got Volk v Lopez for the 145 belt. Is it 145?
Yeah, better view.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a casual, you see. But yeah, let's start off with Mike. What do you think of the main event? Who do you think is going to win and why?
I think it's a great fight. I think it's a compelling fight. I think most people don't believe that Lopez is better than Volk. Most people believe that Lopez is in his prime and Volk isn't. I think Volk will win simply because he's a better fighter, but it's not necessarily Volk versus Lopez. It's more so Volk versus Father Time. If he's the same version of himself that he was against Holloway or even Ortega, I think he should win pretty comfortably. And I'm betting on that 100%.
Um, so you think Volk's going to win, yeah?
100%. No doubt in my mind. No
Let's
doubt
get
in my
Fat
mind he's
First
going to win.
thoughts.
Me, well, boys, you know what I think of Diego. I think Diego's getting punched up. I can't lie. Bias aside, call me delusional. I don't rate him. I think his hair's going to get in the way. I think he's just going to get battered. He's not good enough. He's not that big from the face-off today, even though when they first faced off a couple of weeks ago, he looked massive. I'm going with Volk round 4. I'm going to lock it in. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Everyone else, jump on it. That's what I'm saying.
I think Mike's got a bet on it. Have you got a bet on it this weekend, Mike?
Yeah, I do. Vote by TKO. I think round 3. Honestly, I was trying to be humble before. Let me be realistic. Lopez sucks. I don't think he's very good. If the Dan Ige fight was 5 rounds, he would have lost that, and Dan Ige took it on 6 hours notice. Very, very average fighter. And if you look at his record, he hasn't actually beaten anyone who's any good. Ortega's washed, Sabatini's mid, and he lost against Evloev. Volk's gonna expose him.
Yeah, if you're hearing that, people, Michael SNM, he's got expert betting picks, so I feel that he's a very safe person to listen to, innit? But yeah, let's get your thoughts then, Danny.
Yeah, I agree with what Mike and Fatso said. I think Lopez isn't really good, and Volk should make easy work of this. I mean, you never know of a fighter coming off 2 knockouts by Topuria and Islam, so you never know how a fighter can react after that. I just don't really rate Lopez as high as other people do. If you look at his resume, he's had one decent win against Ortega, who he isn't really good right now, is it? He's won 2 fights in 5 years, something like that. I think if the Volk that's for Holloway in the past turns up, I think it's gonna be a straight win. Lopez, the only chance Lopez has is probably the opening round or two, where he comes out quick. But I think Volk is a fighter who's dealt with that before, and I think it's just going to be easy. I think Volk and their styles are totally different. Volk loves to take his time. He loves to break down his opponent. Lopez is the opposite. He comes out fast. Like Fatso was saying, that Dan Ige fight, if that was 5 rounds, I think Dan Ige would have won. And if your best win is Ortega, that's not really impressive, is it? So yeah, I feel like if Volk survives the early storm, which I 100% think he will, I think if he makes it to round 3, he'll start breaking down. Either a late TKO or a 50-45 easy decision.
It just looks like everyone's saying Volk, man. What about you, Amir? As if Amir's alive still.
I'm still here. So I agree with what everyone else was saying. I think Volk is going to absolutely batter him for 3 rounds. I think he's going to finish him in the third. I can't see any way Volk doesn't win this fight. I know he's coming off losses to two fighters who are better than him, but Volk is still one of the best in the world. He used to be pound for pound number one at one point, and I just can't see Lopez getting anything on him. Even if Volk's washed, a washed Volk still beats Lopez. At the end of the day, I think Alexander Volkanovski's winning his featherweight title back, and he's going back to where he belongs as a champion.
All right. So since everyone's going with Volk, I'm actually going to go the opposite. I'm going to say Lopez purely off the reason, yeah. Volk's chin's been
One guy
cracked twice
always got to
now.
be different.
Exactly. Volk, listen, Volk. I love Volk. He's a great fighter, but at the end of the day, when you start losing in MMA, we've seen it with so many other fighters. Once you start hitting those losses, it just carries on, and I think it's going to be another case of that. I reckon Lopez is going to put him away inside 2 rounds. He's going to shock the world, and we're going to have a new champion in Diego Lopez.
Yeah, but you
Boom,
say
you're
that,
on.
but Lopez has lost more fights than Volk.
I'll be gutted if that happens.
Same.
Proper.
I just have a feeling.
I don't rate
that's gonna happen.
No one rates it. That's the thing. I can't see a world where Volk
Lopez.
loses.
Didn't
I
Lopez?
I don't want to think about it.
Neither do I. Don't even want to like imagine it,
Like-
bro. I'm telling you, Lopez is getting battered, bro. I'm seeing the future. Put your
The
money where your
UFC
mouth is, boy.
The UFC needs Volk to win this as well, man. The current state of the UFC is
100.
horrible. We can't have another horrible champion, man.
If I remember correctly,
Lopez.
Lopez lost his opening 2 fights in the UFC against, I think, Brito, who got
Brito,
absolutely
yeah.
on the weekend, and Evloev. So, you know, I don't know. I guess UFC have to push him on because there's no featherweight contenders. You got Holloway, who's moved up. You got the champion Topuria, who's also moved up. So you do need someone to face for the belt. And this is Lopez who's put a decent win streak together against Yusuf, Dan Ige, and Brian Ortega, and they were like, okay, let's just give him a shot. I think it's going to be normal business for Volk. I just don't see any shock in this fight. It's not compelling at all. I think easy win for Volk, and he's going to reclaim his featherweight belt back.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get minced. But I don't rate him. I mean, like the thing is, he could just catch him. Obviously, he could. He is game, but he's just not that good. And he had when he fought Evloev, people said it was short notice, but he had a longer fight camp than Evloev.
Yeah.
And just gas, but he gassed against Ige. Gassing against Ige on 6 hours' notice is unacceptable. I say that from my bedroom, on a podcast. I'm not an athlete. It is unacceptable at that level. I'm not hearing anything else.
The point you said, Fats, I reckon Lopez is just going to catch him. It's one of them ones, isn't it? Volk, his chin's been cracked very badly in his last 2 outings. So I just have a feeling it's going to be one of them ones. But who's next in line, by the way, for the title shot after this fight?
Evloev, surely.
It's got to be him.
Everyone, no doubt.
Gotta be.
Has Aljo moved up yet or not?
Yeah, he fought
Aljo's
Evloev in his last fight.
Have they fought? I didn't even know that.
Who, Aljo? Aljo moved up, yeah. Or Aldo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he moved up time ago.
But did him and Everlov fight?
Yeah, Aljo got robbed.
He did. Man, like.
So looking at the rankings now, it's Volk, Lopez, Evloev, who's also fighting on this card, Brian Ortega, Arnold Allen, and Murphy, and then Aljo.
Honestly,
in fairness,
I think if Pitbull beats Rodriguez, they might skip Evloev and give the title shot to Pitbull.
They might fast shot him. I think if he does get a big win, they might do that, you know.
And I wouldn't mind
they
that as well.
could.
Volk against Pitbull, the featherweight go against the Bellator go. That'd be a good fight.
Pitbull's kind of washed. We can get to Pitbull. Where is he on the card? Is he the fight after or no? He's not.
No, he's
after the co-main. We'll get to him, but
Yeah.
I know it's not gonna happen. I want to see Almighty man Arnold Allen get a title.
Yeah,
shot.
same.
I love him.
He is
man.
good.
Sick fighter.
I don't really rate Lerone. I rate Arnold more than Lerone, and I think Arnold beat Evloev. If I'm honest, it was close.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a close
really
fight.
mind, but I think he is pretty good.
I agree with that take.
Yeah.
What I'm saying about Volkanovski, let's say he wins this fight. How many more fights do you see him having? Do you think he's got a long left, or do you think
He said he's got 2. He said he's got one where he said he'll call out Evloev, and then he's gonna have one more, and then he might have like a super fight or something, but he doesn't know who. So maybe like 2 or 3. I think he's smart, innit? Do you know what I mean? He knows what
Yeah,
he's got left.
he knows he's getting older, and I
I
can't see him
reckon
fighting
we'll
much longer.
see Volk v Aljo maybe.
Maybe.
They're trained together now.
Yeah, but that was just a one-time thing.
Is it?
Honest-
Yeah, fair.
Honestly, I think Volk's going to be like Tony Ferguson. I don't think he'll retire until he's completely washed.
Oh, that'll be deep, man.
Bro, Tony
Jojo,
Ferguson
that's
was completely washed and still for a good 5 years, man.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like he won't retire till he's completely done.
Tony is a fucking idiot. Sorry,
He should've
excuse me.
retired
I
a
don't
long
know if
time
I
ago.
can swear on this, but like
Yeah,
he
you can,
he
you
is an
can.
absolute donut. Do you know what I mean? Like Volk isn't a donut like that, whereas Tony is. Bro, he's been tapped for the longest, man.
And Tony's got insane CTE levels. Volk ain't been hitting the head that hard, man.
Bro, he thought the
I don't think-
CIA was like tapping his water and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like the guy is mental in it. Like there's no two ways about it.
All you have to do is look at Tony Ferguson's Instagram captions, and then you can find out that guy's not fucking right in the head.
He's like PJ Penn, man, isn't it? He's gonna do something dangerous. Not gonna lie.
I
He's
think
fighting Dylan Dennis.
If Volk loses against Lopez, do you guys think he retires?
Yeah,
Or will he
Nah.
continue?
I think
I
he
don't
I
does.
think
think.
But you say
Because
that, yeah.
what's he
but
got?
you know-
What's he got left in the sport if he loses? Nothing.
Exactly.
But the
May
thing
as well
is,
keep
though,
your dignity.
with Volkanovski, I think he said in the past, isn't it? Like when he's not fighting, he's not able to function like he needs to be.
Yeah.
So it could be one of them ones. That's the thing with fighters, isn't it? Once they get old, they can't really. They find it hard to accept that they're past.
I think he
this
They're
knows
washed.
his health is on the line now, though. He's had a couple losses. He's lost a belt. He knows that his health is on the line. Whereas before, he took a stupid fight after a fight he thought he won against the champ above. Do you know what I mean? He was being a bit delusional. Whereas now, I think he's like, look, he's having another baby. That's like 4 daughters or something mental like that.
Do you remember that
is-
video? Do you remember that
Which
video of
one?
the gender reveal, and he's like, saying
Yeah,
he's trying
word.
to hide
Yeah. I think he knows his shit on the line. Don't
Volk
mean-
is 37 this September.
That's
Lopez is
crazy.
30. A 7-year age difference, which is quite massive in MMA, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
He's had a crazy career, man, from how big he was playing rugby to like this. If Volk wins this fight, where do you think his legacy is in the featherweight division? Do you think he's the greatest?
Bro, he's the
featherweight of all
GOAT already.
He's a
time?
GOAT featherweight already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
right,
very
right.
I
good. I
think
think
he's-
he's already the goal.
I think he
Good
might
lord.
surpass Holloway at number 2 in the GOAT rankings.
I'll give it
I've
a
been
rest.
about this for a while. I think Volk's low-key overrated. That when you actually look at his career, other than Holloway, none of his wins are any good.
Bro, yeah, he's the only man to ever 37 Jose Aldo at featherweight.
What Jose Aldo? Marlon Moraes also beat that version of Jose Aldo.
Bro,
The same
in
Marlon
29,
Moraes.
robbed him at bantamweight.
It wasn't a robbery. I'm saying like Aldo was washed. Mendez was washed. He's only beaten one fighter who's any good in his prime,
He's been
and he arguably lost. And he arguably lost the Holloway rematch as well.
I think he did
I think
lose the Holloway
50,
rematch. Can't lie.
Either
I
way,
thought
he's
he
I
won.
think he's great, but outside Holloway, Volk's resume is very mid.
I think 50-43ing Brian Ortega is pretty cool, even if he isn't the best. I think beating the shit out of him, that was it was pretty cool to
I'm
watch.
trying to
I mean,
think
didn't
it's
Brian win a
crazy.
round against Max?
Bro, how
He
did
almost
Volk
got
get
subbed
out
in
of
that
those
fight.
positions?
Like even
How
in
did
the
he get out?
fight, even in the fight Volks dominates, he still almost loses.
You can talk about his if he's overrated, but I think he's just beaten everyone who's in front of him. Like he's never backed down. He's always faced the number one contender. Like at the time, it was the Korean Zombie he beat, Brian Ortega he beat, Holloway he beat 3 times. Yeah, is not good, but still,
Yeah.
he knocked him out.
It's not.
I
The
think
Korean Zombie one is pretty
he's
bad.
overrated.
To be fair.
Yeah, but I don't think his resume is overrated.
Nah, bro, he's like me. He's the fucking boy in it. Do you know what I mean? I won't
but
hear
to be
nothing else
honest,
from Mike. He's the man.
who else was there to fight like in the division? He already fought. He fought all the contenders, so you can't really say his
Exactly.
resume is overrated.
And then moved up.
Ronald Allen. He could have fought Aldo. He didn't take that fight.
He beat
When
Aldo.
Aldo was champ, they didn't want to.
The only
what?
reason the Arnold fight never happened because Holloway beat Allen in it.
Yeah, Max was the one making things difficult.
Max is the gatekeeper. He beats everyone else but loses to Volk, and then just to Topuria as well.
Do you guys think, yeah, let's say Volk wins this fight, do you think Holloway might look at this and be like, let me jump back down? Because
Nah, he can't deserve
Nah.
it.
I think he's done with
Nah.
145. I think
I
he's
think
gonna.
Holloway
I
doesn't
want-
have many fights in him as well.
Listen,
Nah.
at this stage of his career,
I
I just
think-
want Holloway to fight the guy like Charles Oliveira. That's a fight I really want to see.
I don't want him to get
That's what I
humiliated.
want to see.
I just don't want to see Max get humiliated. I don't want to see him take another loss. I want him to just ride off into the sunset.
Oh,
Depends
he
how he
will.
looks.
Max must be pissed that Topuria's moved up. You know that.
But after
Yeah,
that last
like, he
fight,
left. Facts.
But I think
Imagine leaving 145 just to avoid Topuria, and then Topuria also leaves 145. That makes his move a complete waste of time,
let's be real, yeah.
especially if Topuria
Holloway,
becomes champ.
yeah, exactly. But I believe even without Topuria, yeah, I don't think Holloway is touching that belt, 155 belt. I think if he's
Nah,
smart,
I think Holloway beats Islam. I think
Really?
he beats Islam.
in what
Yeah.
world?
Not now.
In what world?
But he was getting taken down every
think-
time by Ilya.
How
Every
you doing,
time, like, with ease as well.
Exactly.
And he
He's
got
rage
right back
baiting.
up.
Yeah, but he got
Islam
back
struggled
up
to
Ilya's
get Wash
money.
Dustin down. Islam was struggling with Wash Dustin, arguably lost
he's
2
not
rounds.
washed. He's not washed.
Two rounds is
He
crazy.
was
I
washed,
think he's
but
pretty
he
washed.
weren't that. He
Yeah,
was
he's
washed, but he
washed.
weren't shit. He was washed, but he weren't like finished. You know what I'm saying, like, he has no hit.
Yeah, but Holloway's better. Holloway's better than that, in my opinion.
And he's lost.
I think Holloway can win 3 rounds.
Nah.
Depends how he reacts off that knockout. That knockout's bad, man. Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I just
But
want to
he
see
got sent
Holloway.
flying.
I just want to see Holloway and Charles. I don't want to see Holloway does.
Yeah,
Topuriya,
same.
I'm not trying to see that.
Yeah, I
again.
agree.
Yeah.
Either Holloway Charles or Holloway with Dan Hooker.
Nah,
Probably
Hooker-
I want Dan
Hooker's
Hooker
shit.
Gaethje.
Yeah, I want Dan Hooker
Yeah,
Gaethje
I
as well.
We deserve it.
Mm.
Facts.
Anyways, let's
Wait,
move
Paddy after the next fight. Who's he fighting? I think Paddy might win. Just rolling on to the next fight, just
Yeah.
based on plot armor and Chandler's being a bit of a donut as well. But he's in the mix. He's up there with Holloway and Charles and He was going to have to fight one of them next.
Yeah,
Why
Holloway,
not make that one?
Holloway Chandler would
He
be
said
a good
he-
fight.
He said he's going to call out Gaethje or Oliveira if he wins.
I don't
against
hate
Chandler.
either of them. I don't hate either.
I think Paddy's just got insane plot armor. I get what you're saying.
He
Like
does.
every fight, he
actually
should have
does.
lost. He should have lost all half his fights on paper.
I can't stand
He-
Paddy, bro.
I can't stand him, but you know what? Yeah, he is quite funny. I've seen his walkouts live twice, and it is mint. Like, you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I can get behind. I can see this a couple more times, but you want to watch him lose, but you want to watch him either way.
I just need him. I need him KO'd once, and then I think I'll get over my hate.
Flat.
It's
You
gonna
guys-
be the Scousers don't get knocked out clip and him get knocked out.
He's
You know what?
Viral.
Paddy's a tough bastard, isn't it? And I think this
Yeah, he
fight,
is.
Chandler Pimblett, he has potential to be fight of the year. I reckon it's going to be an absolute barn burner.
I
I
think
hope
he
so.
might.
I hope so. This is the fight I'm most excited for.
How
You
old
know
is
what?
Pimblett?
If anyone can knock out Paddy, yeah, it is Iron Mike Chandler.
But he's 30. He's only going to get better.
Mm. But yeah, I
And
think
he's just turned 30.
the winner of this fight versus Holloway, that would be a great fight to make.
I think
So
Holloway
I
beat
think
Matt.
I think Max would batter Paddy. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really see what he can do to him, but I rate him for actually getting that far. I've got to give him his credit. I might hate on a few people, but I'm
Yeah.
going to, because I remember when he did his debut, yeah, I was sitting in a room with all my pals. I was like, bro, this guy's shit. And then he won again, and then he robbed Jared
Yeah.
Gordon. And I was like, you know what?
The Robert
Fuck it.
was
Yeah.
insane.
What about when he
Huh?
rocked
Yeah,
the
like to
corner?
be honest, I thought he was gonna lose to Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green, and Jordan Levitt. I thought he was gonna lose those fights.
So, not Tony. I didn't think he'd lose to Tony.
I thought he'd lose to Bobby Green. I was certain he'd
So
lose
did
to
I.
Bobby Green. I
Yeah,
had a weird feeling, but then I don't know. He's got insane plot
Bobby-
armor, I think.
I don't know what Bobby was doing that fight, though. I'm not going to lie. He went, what did he do? Shoot for a takedown?
Probably.
yeah, he threw the fight basically.
Well, yeah, he probably had a bet on Paddy, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
who
man,
you guys picking in the Chandler v fight?
I'm picking Paddy.
I'm thinking Paddy as well. Chandler's one of my
I
favorite
don't know
fighters.
how he does it.
On
Don't know how
paper,
he does
Chandler
it.
should
I
win.
think he does.
On paper, Chandler should win this fight. He's gonna be the overwhelming favorite.
Can
Chandler's
I
one of my
just say
favorite
something?
fighters, but I've just got weird
What are
feelings
the
about
odds?
Paddy.
We say that for every fight with Chandler. On paper, he should win, but the guy's fucking fit. Do you know what I mean?
He is fit as shit.
He doesn't use his
Most
fight.
That is
UFC
true. But you
fighters
also
are.
need,
Most fighters are, man.
but you also need to realize he hasn't fought anyone as bad as Pimblett. You know, I think Chandler's going to win this fight pretty easily. If I'm being honest,
I
unless he
don't.
does what Bobby
Yeah.
Green did.
But Chandler waiting all this time for his Conor
Unless
fight
he throws
as well, and then he loses.
If
That's so
Chandler,
fucking funny.
if Chandler has an ounce of IQ, I think he wins this. Just
But
an
if he
ounce.
loses, he should
I
be
agree.
cut. What is he going to be? 2-6 in UFC? Let's be real.
He lost loads of fights.
That's what I'm
To be,
saying.
to be fair to him, yeah, Michael Chandler's just one of those guys. He could, even though he loses fights, they'll still keep him because he's just fucking entertaining. Do you know what I mean? He has
Yeah.
scraps.
Paddy's the
Like,
favourite. I'm looking at the odds now.
I'd rather Chandler win because I think there's more interesting fights to be made if Chandler wins. But do you think it's gonna go to the ground, or do you think they're just gonna stand and bang?
I
Paddy
think
takes
it will
to the
hit the
ground.
ground.
I think Paddy will take it to the ground or try to take it to the
Yeah,
ground.
Chandler's stupid, bro. He's not gonna take it. He's gonna be like, he's gonna do like he thinks he's in a movie when he fights, bro.
And then he'll get taken to the ground and subbed.
Bro, he's just a bit of a cornball, isn't it? Like, he sees his career's on the line, yeah, and he'll just be like, fuck it. And then he'll just do something stupid and then call out McGregor. Win or lose. Just pathetic at this point. I do like him.
Yeah. Connor shafted him, man. He waited like 2 years, bro, for that fight.
2-3 years, I never got a fight.
Honestly, I blame Chandler for that because it was very obvious
So do
that
I.
McGregor wasn't serious. So he should have been able to see that. Even I could see that. We could see that. We weren't even involved. So he definitely should have been able to clock that.
But do you remember the Charles fight, like Oliveira's on his back and like he's taunt, and then Chandler's taunting to the car like 1, and he drops, and he does it again, like 2, and he drops.
I hate it when he does that. It's like, bro, you're losing. What are you doing?
I mean, how old is Chandler?
He's old.
He's
man.
38.
Yeah, he's old.
Bro, that's old for someone that takes it. He's taken a lot of mileage, and he's also going to be 39 this month in less than 3 weeks. Like, come off it. Do you know what I mean?
My favorite Chandler fight is Defos against Gaethje. I love that fight.
Bro, the Eddie Alvarez, the first one is like one of the best fights ever in it.
Oh,
But that was so long ago. There must have been
Mhm.
about 20. But yeah,
Eddie was a great fighter, innit, back in his prime.
yeah, I rate Eddie.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? With Chandler, everyone just like takes the piss out of him because he's just proper PR. Like they're like, oh, he adopts a black kid. Do you know, he's just one of those guys, bro. Everything's PR with him, innit?
What's
Bro,
wrong with adopting a
his
black
wife's
kid?
just given birth.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just funny, innit?
His wife just
Honestly,
gave birth
I
to
didn't-
a white kid. So I thought
Yeah,
that he was
that's when they
adopting
go.
so he couldn't have him.
Facts. I thought that they were what's the term? I thought he was drawing blanks, you know, and it
Yeah,
just
well,
he couldn't
shooting
physically
blank.
have kids. Shooting blank. Now that I know
For
he
the
can actually
roids.
have kids, that just makes it even more weird. Unless maybe they
Yeah,
did an IVF.
Bro, it's for his career, bro. It's for his career. Yeah, I'm telling you, PR. Remember after even Dustin exposed him, this guy's like a really dirty fighter.
Bro,
as
Dustin
well.
hates him. And then the other Chandler was like, we're best friends, and he doesn't even know it yet. I was like, bro, have some fucking shame, man. You're 39, innit? The guys don't like you, innit?
But I can't lie, Dustin is one of those guys that ran after his fights. He ran. He's like so aggressive. He done it with Dan Hooker as well. He's
Really good, but I think he's a bit of an asshole, to be honest. And everyone just kind of
Dustin's
he's
a
an
thug.
yeah, but that's fine. You're allowed to be a thug if you're a cage fighter, innit? But I don't know why people make out that like it's rainbows with, like puppies in it. Everything does it.
I think they're both like
Yeah, but
both don't
he's
like
only
him.
rude. Yeah,
Go for
just
it,
that
Michael.
Chandler pretends that he does.
Yeah,
Also, with the Dan Hooker one, Dan Hooker was also talking a lot of rubbish before the fight. To be fair to
Dan's
Dustin,
a
like
thug as
Dustin
well.
didn't just. How's Dan a thug?
Bro, Dan just talks mad. He just wants to fucking fight everyone constantly. It's all he does.
Yeah, but that's kind of his
Even
job, innit?
That's
him in that, he's just bashing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of have to be to do what these guys do. If you're
Yeah, of
like
course.
mad soft, then you're not really gonna go that far.
To
Well,
be an
like,
MMA fighter, you gotta be fucked in the head. Like, there's no two
that's what I'm
ways about
saying.
it. You have to be crazy. 'Cause
100%. Like, bro,
your
go
life
get an
is gonna
office
be
job.
shorter. You're gonna have fucking career-long injuries. They're gonna
Yeah,
last forever. You're gonna be fucked. You're gonna be in pain most of your life. Like, to
that's
do
what I'm
this,
saying, bro. When
and most of these are on shit money. Like, the ones at the bottom of the card that never make it, they just get knocked out. They're on shit money. Ain't worth it.
for fun, bro, when Hooker and Poirier fought, yeah, Dan's sitting there laughing, crippled. Then they wheel him out to the hospital. The guy's like hooked up, half asleep, and he's like, "Yeah, I fucking love it." I was like, "Bro, well, you need locking up, man. What even are you?"
But then again, though, these men are on like high adrenaline in it when they're fighting, so they don't really feel it until like the
Yeah,
next day.
he looked like he felt it a little bit. The guy get wheeled out.
Yeah, but him and Paul Felder had an amazing fight. That's such a good fight. That
Oh
was.
yeah,
I still think Felder won though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Hooker won that fight.
bro, that was on
Yeah,
my
terrible
birthday.
decision.
I can't remember it. That was the same night as Fury Wilder 2, innit?
Wilder.
Yeah, so I watched them back
yeah.
to back. Bro, I bought my Xbox to an Airbnb for my 21st birthday, yeah, and I left the controller at home, so we got to sit around watching it on my phone. But yeah, I just about remember that decision. I think it was pretty rough, to be fair, from what I remember.
Yeah. So I'm going. I'm going Chandler. I think Chandler's going to win this fight. It's do or die for him, really. So I think
I'm
he
going
has to
Chandler
win
too.
this fight.
Yeah, same.
I agree.
I'm going Pimblett.
All right. So
Okay.
Fatso and
I don't know
Umair
how. I don't know how, but I'm just gonna pick him. He's gonna
I'm
pull
also
something
going
crazy
Paddy.
off.
I just got
You
a
think
feeling. I just got a feeling.
it's going to be one of them ones, isn't it? When Paddy catches him when Chandler's like charging in.
He'll
It
either
just
win
makes
because
sense.
he's an industry plant and he does a robbery, or Paddy somehow, I don't know, finishes him.
Bro, that
It
Golden
just
fight
makes
was
sense.
insane. I had no idea how they gave that win to Paddy. The
Industry
Golden,
plant.
What?
oh, bro,
No,
that
that
was
was bad.
robbery.
That was really bad.
Clear robbery.
I had Gordon
Paddy
up every round.
Yeah.
Paddy wins this, yeah. If Paddy wins this, surely they're going to give him a main event in Liverpool for his next
They've
fight.
got to. They've got to. Someone big as well, or at least they probably won't do Liverpool. They'll probably do another London card and give him someone big.
I'm so sick of O2 cards, man. Everything has to be down south. We had one here
I'm
up
sick
north.
of O2 cards with Leon
Well,
Edwards. I like Leon, but I'm sick of just paying like 5-6 bills there for a ticket just to see him fight. I'm like, bro, put someone else on
You
it.
know what?
Go
You know
ahead.
what? Let's quickly touch on Leon Edwards. What do you guys think of his performance
I
against
picked
Brady?
Sean Brady to
Embarrassing.
sub him.
Embarrassing, bro.
Embarrassing.
Yeah,
Embarrassing. That was one of the
I
funniest
loved it.
performances I've
I
ever seen in
loved
my life.
seeing him lose.
I have been pretty high on Sean Brady for time, yeah, and
Top.
it was kind of like easy to pick. But I think people were shitting on Leon, but because they didn't know how good Brady was. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I picked him to sub him and won a few bets on it, but once he was there, he did just kind of go, right, this is me. Do you know what I mean? He just accepted it. But if you knew how Leon is, that was probably quite an easy pick from quite far off. But I guess Brady was like, lost to
Yeah.
Bilal, got finished by Bilal. People were kind of convoluted by that when in reality, bro, the guy's the best grappler at 170.
Yeah.
Also, Bilal's a better boxer than Leon Edwards, so I don't see why that was that much of a point. Like,
Bro, Leon losing
I
back-to-back
think Leon
main events
Edwards.
against Brady and Bilal, bro. He just looks so logic. Yeah, he had no answer for nothing. It's like, I mean, I get it because even against Usman, he was down 3 rounds, 2-1, and he pulled out the bag. And then second fight was close against Usman. Colby was a crap in because Colby was awful, and that fight was awful too. And then he comes against Bilal. He looks so lethargic. When he's against the cage, there's nothing to do. Bilal even boxed better. And then you'll think he comes into this fight, yeah, and he probably brushes up, but it's the same thing. Sean Brady looked so comfortable in there. And actually, Brady, like Fatso did, I think he's a good fighter. He'll be around the top 5 for a long time.
Yeah, if anything, it gave me a bit more confidence that Leon. I actually think he may have had a better, less embarrassing loss if he did lose to JDM. It might have been like a TKO over time or something like that, but he wouldn't have. Brady broke the UFC record for most control time ever in a round, 4 minutes 57 seconds. That's not happening against anyone else in that division.
Yeah.
With Leon, yeah, he just gives up so easy, and you can see it in his face. It's just so embarrassing. I can't lie. I think he's embarrassed the UK with his last 2 performances.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm even gonna go as far as say he was even embarrassing against Colby. Yeah, that man insulted your dead.
That was worse than Bilal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was one of the
100%.
worst fights ever.
That was worse than Bilal.
The guy
Because
insult-
Bilal, at least he
Unless-
won 2 rounds. But with Colby, there's no excuse to fight that passively against a guy that said your dad's in hell.
Exactly.
And Colby didn't do anything. He threw like 30 punches the entire fight, and Leon still didn't do anything. I thought
He
the
deserves to hate.
Usman rematch was mid as well. The Usman
Yeah, it
trilogy was mid as well.
Yeah,
I think he
I
did
think-
win. I think
And
he
he
did
almost
win
got
that.
chinned by Nate Diaz.
yeah, he won
He
that.
won that.
but
Yeah,
it
I
was a
agree.
boring
That was
fight.
the right decision. Yeah.
Fight
Makes
got pointless.
Usman look bad, if I'm honest.
I
I
can't
feel
believe
just
that
make
streak
you like-
ended Usman's undefeated streak though.
I feel sorry for Usman.
Yeah.
You know that.
I
don't
do,
think
but
It's just one of them ones, isn't it?
The fight
Hail
against
Mary.
Hamza was actually close, you know.
I thought it was
I
a
think he
draw.
won that.
I thought it was a draw as
Oh,
well. It was very close.
Yeah, a draw. But there's no way he lost that fight. So it's a bit harsh on there.
No.
I can see
Oh,
why.
mate, I
though.
was
can see
gutted.
either of
When
them winning.
Leon kicked it, when Leon kicked Usman, yeah, I put a bet on round 4 head kick at 350 to 1. Put a tenner on it, and it happened in the 5th. I was fuming. But I do like Leon, but it's pretty clear there's holes there, and there's a lot of English fans that are like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like best thing since sliced bread, and it's like, boy, you've got to be realistic, or when he inevitably loses, it's just going to hurt even worse because he's not amazing. I thought he was alright. I know Mike hated him, but I thought he was alright. But the Brady one, I kind of saw it from a mile off. I didn't see Bilal. I thought he'd beat Bilal.
You know, it is. I think Leon, yeah, the way he's performed in the last, he might as well retire, man. Do you know what I mean? I
He
don't
should
see
switch
him.
gyms.
Yeah, that as well.
The
Bro,
brothers
his
are
coach,
bum. Coach is just
his coach,
yes
every time
man,
he's
bro.
trying the same. He's trying to run the same thing as the Usman fight. Come on, Leon.
It's all he's got.
quick,
It's all he's got, mate.
he wants to go viral on TikTok.
That's what I'm saying.
He's there for the edits, man. He's there for the edits.
We
That's
wanna-
it.
You know,
He wants
you
to
know
get
what's
out of
hilarious
Brum.
about that? You know what's hilarious though? When he's saying that, yeah, just look at Leon's face. Leon's just thinking, shut the fuck up. This is just
Bro, he
so
told him to
funny.
shut up. He told him to shut up in the Bilal fight. He told
Yeah, he
him to
did,
shut
didn't
his mouth for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, son. Don't bully ya. But yeah, moving on from Leon, let's talk about Yair Rodriguez versus Pitbull making his debut. He's signed to UFC now from Bellator. What do you guys think? Who's gonna win?
I don't know, to be honest. I actually don't know. I think excuse me, I think Pitbull's pretty washed. He got 50-45 by Sergio Pettis and chinned by some random in Ryzen. But I think Yair's not at his peak anymore. But I can't really call it. It's one of them where Bellator fighters can come in and no one suspects it and they can just win. But I don't know. I actually, this is the one I can't call, to be honest. I might go Yair, but it's a guess.
I agree with Fatso. I think it's going to be 29-28 either way. Maybe even a split decision. Very close fight. But yeah, I think Ye should win this. If Ye fights at his range, which is good fighting, Pitbull ain't really that good. I mean, he is washed. So I think Ye can win a boring 29-28. He won't have to
Yeah.
do much. Just throw leg kicks from range. Just shut everything down from Pitbull, and it should be a win for Ye. But I would not
He
be
is
surprised if
tight.
Pitbull wins though. Yeah,
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I agree with
Mike?
you lot.
Oh, man.
What I was gonna say is it's
I
gonna be one of them
could- I-
boring fights that you're gonna be wanting to finish quick at 3 a.m. when you're falling asleep, and
Bench fest.
you just want to get through it. Yeah, it's just one of them. Like, I think it does it, but I just feel like no one's asked about this fight. Like, whoever wins, I'm not bothered. It's not gonna like change anything in the division. It doesn't excite me. I don't look at this and see it on the card and think, oh, I can't wait to watch this. These are the type of fights that make you want to skip cards and go to
I
sleep.
think, I think that's harsh. I think that's harsh. I think it would be a good fight.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think the
If
winner gets
Pitbull
anything
wins,
out of
which I
it.
think
Like
Pitbull wins.
there's nothing on the line. Just it feels like two
Yeah,
journeymen.
that's it.
Or is potentially number one contender.
Nah, it's not, man.
No,
How can
It's
the
not.
IA be a number one contender from this?
he just fought
No,
last
I
year,
mean
you know.
if Pitbull wins, he'll be number one contender potentially.
I think
I
they
think
could
that if
Volk's
Pitbull,
already spoken about fighting.
they could fast shot people, you know. They could, but I don't think they will.
it depends if he goes out there.
I mean, they did it with Chandler.
if he goes
Chandler
out
won one
flat-
fight and got a title shot.
Yeah, but Chandler's good.
yeah, but
Was good.
well,
Was good.
Pitbull
I mean,
just
Pitbull
chinned
changed
Chandler.
Chandler.
That's Chandler coming off the Pitbull KO, isn't it? But the thing is, if Pitbull goes out there, yeah, and finishes Yaya like bad, like snaps his arm or like chins him, flatlines him, yeah, fuck
Yeah, I
it.
think he's going to
It's good,
dominate.
innit? But if he doesn't, if it's just a clinch fest, then fuck him, innit? Stick him against Lerone.
I think Pitbull's got more to win in this fight. So I'm gonna go with Pitbull personally.
I couldn't
He
agree
does. He has
more.
more to
Couldn't
win.
agree more. Great point. And I think he's just better than Rodriguez. Like Rodriguez can't box and he can't wrestle. Another
I think
guy
Pitbull's
very
tiny, though.
overrated. Yeah, but so is Volk. Volk's tiny.
I
Frank
know,
Edgar
Fats
was tiny.
beefy
He
though.
beat Yaya.
I think, but Pitbull
I mean,
just
Edgar was
fought at
small. Edgar and
bantamweight.
Pitbull about the same size.
Yeah, but I think Edgar's
what?
good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, he
but
was
Pitbull
good.
can wrestle.
He can wrestle,
Yeah,
but
and
he just fought at
unless he's done, I
135.
think he should win easily.
Mm.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, but he was
which-
drained. I don't think that was a natural weight class for him.
No, he looked awful. But the thing is, when he needs to win, he makes it quite boring. Like when he lost AJ McKee and then remixed him, he made it really boring. But AJ didn't. I don't even think he won a round. And then AJ was just baffled. Like I can't believe I just lost that easily. So Pitbull has got it in him to just go, I'm going to bank rounds and win because I am better than you, but it will be boring. So if it's a must win, he might look a bit dead, but I rate it because he'll be in the top 5. So good for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think let's move on to a very outspoken fighter. He's been in the news lately.
Oh,
We've got Mr. Fug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. What do you guys think of the fight? Who's going to win and why?
I mean,
Okay, before we
go for
talk,
it, Mike.
okay, I
Yeah,
think
man.
Mitchell will win, and I think he'll win a very clear decision. I watched the Charles Jourdain fight, and the takedowns Jourdain was landing, they weren't even good takedowns, and Silva didn't really know what to do. And I'm thinking to myself, Bryce Mitchell can do that, but he's a little bit bigger than Jourdain, and he can actually grapple. I think he'll kind of fraud check Silva, if I'm being honest. I don't really get the hype behind him.
I agree. I think Gene's exciting. I think he is tiny, and I think the fighting nerd stuff's getting to his head. But the guy just sits there and barks at people in it. Like he's obviously unhinged. I think Bryce is actually better than people think because he's a dope. Yeah, and he says all this stupid shit. People think he's not very good, but he
Well,
actually is okay. No,
Are we allowed to get into that?
Well, if you turn your
Go for
camera
it.
on,
No,
then,
he says
turn
very,
your camera.
very stupid shit.
Turn your camera on.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but what he says about certain groups, when you look through certain history
Oh,
books, I'm not saying he has a point, but it's not complete nonsense.
I agree with Mike.
I'm just
I can't comment because unlike Mike, I've got a job, so I'm playing out that one. innit?
Yeah, man. Some of us have life to look forward to, man.
Listen, yeah, with Bryce Mitchell, I'm locked in for this title charge. I think
So am
I
I.
can't wait.
I'm
I
just-
can't wait. I can't wait for the promo this man's gonna cut after he wins.
Oh yeah, I think
hope
he's
they-
gonna win and say
I
something
hope they
insane,
let
isn't
him.
he?
You think they let him get
Yeah.
on the mic?
100.
Nah.
I think
No,
he's
because
gonna
Dana's
dominate.
all about free
so-
speech, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Well, he claims
No,
to.
not with that though. Do you know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
think he might
you
go
can't
out
say
there.
the shit. You can't
with
say
a-
shit like that. Surely not, because there's sponsors and shit.
Bro, he's gonna go out there, throw holy water at Gene's unconscious
why
body, yeah.
can't he? Why
Get a
can't he
Bible
speak?
out.
Why can't he speak about that, but then guys like Colby can speak about racist stuff.
Exactly.
Because America's like that, though. So I mean,
Listen, Bryce
got
Mitchell.
know you got to know your
I
audience.
just find it interesting.
Got to know
I
your
find it
audience.
interesting how you can say anything. You can trash every single group of people in the UFC except a certain one. But let me not.
But look who UFC is owned by. innit? They're owned by TKO, and who's the head of TKO? What's his name?
Ari
Harry
Emanuel.
Emanuel.
You-
That says it all in it.
Oh, where's he from?
There you
Or
have
what's
it.
his background?
It rhymes with let's not get into that, innit?
We'll get him
Yeah,
on the
this isn't
podcast
a
next week.
political
We might.
podcast, it's an MMA
Listen,
podcast.
If Bryce Mitchell
Yeah.
happens to watch this, let's do a collab, man. Mission podcast.
Bro, let's
and
get
your
Bryce
podcast.
on.
Yeah, let's get Bryce
Let's
on the
get
pod.
him
Why
on.
not?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, bro.
Listen, in this podcast, Bryce, you can say whatever you want, mate. No censorship. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
But,
YouTube might kick us off, but
Yeah, listen, we'll find a way. But I'm guessing everyone here is saying Bryce Mitchell's going to win this fight.
I
Yeah,
think he's going to
I think
dominate.
he's gonna win. I can't see him losing this one.
He's like a plus 300 or something mental like that. I don't really get it. I mean, I do because of the hype, but
It's because he got chin,
really,
isn't it?
he shouldn't. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think Gene's okay. He's quite fun. I think he's alright. I don't think he's shit, but I think it's getting to his head a little bit. He's being rushed. He's not like some of the other fighting nerds like Cal. I don't even know how to say his name. He's taking it a bit slow. He's kind of honed it a little bit. He's fighting in the worst division. Gene's getting pumped up there, man, and he's active as well. I think he's going to lose quite badly and bounce back, but he's going to get fraud checked a little bit here.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you guys think this is a case of Dana throwing Bryce Mitchell into the deep end, seeing the hype with Silva,
Yeah.
and Dana said, "Okay, let's just throw him
Potentially.
to Silva."
Dana wants Bryce to lose
Yeah, exactly.
because of what he said, which makes sense because some of the things that he said were potentially could be seen as unacceptable. So I see why Dana would want him to lose, but I
Yeah.
think Bryce is gonna spoil the party.
Yeah, I think Bryce will win a decision.
Yeah, I think Dana's pretty smart and that he sees marketable outcomes in every fight. I think he knows that Bryce still has a following. There's still like people that think this and that, whatever. There's certain corners of the UFC fandom, yeah, that think all sorts, innit? So I think he knows. Look, if Bryce wins, it's a win. If Gene wins, it's a win.
Yeah,
It
Exactly.
just depends how it happens. Do you know what I mean?
What's the saying? Bad publicity is good
It's
publicity.
good, yeah. Any publicity is
All
good
publicity
publicity.
is good publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah. Let's move on
That
to
said,
the.
I will say this:
Oh,
I completely disagree about him being a fan of a certain German man. I think he's completely wrong about that.
yeah, no
He's
shit.
Austrian, pal. Same
No
same
shit.
shit, different toilet. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That man
fucking
was
hell.
he was a self-hating Austrian. Let's be real.
Yeah.
A very insecure,
Very
very
evil, man.
insecure little man. Like he liked people of his own sex. He liked painting, and he was very insecure about that. And he decided to take it out on a certain group of people. But yeah, moving on. Krylov and Dominic Reyes. What happened to Dominic Reyes, man? Fucking hell! What a downfall. What do you guys think of this fight? Who's gonna win?
Mate, as Krylov's biggest fan, I'm worried. I am worried. He can't get the takedowns. He can't get the takedowns. It will not happen. Yeah, and he fights like a dog. He's pretty good, but he looks like he's fighting in a dream. But he's like fighting underwater, and he can get hit. He can. Razor's coming off a win. Krylov's been out for 2 years. He's been fighting in the Ukraine or Russia, whatever side he's on. I think he's pro-Russia. I think he's a bit of a snitch, but he's taken about 2 years out, and it don't look good for him. I'm hoping he wins. I watched him get submitted by Paul Craig in person, and I was absolutely livid. But we'll see what happens. I'm hoping he wins, but I am worried.
What do you, man?
Mike?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I think Reyes is gonna win. I can't lie.
I hope he does.
I don't know. I feel like they're both good fighters, but I'm just slightly tipped towards Reyes. I think he's a better fighter, just slightly. I think it'd be a good fight though. This.
I actually agree with that. I do agree with that. Like,
Oh, I must be wrong. There.
Krylov should win, but he does do some really weird things sometimes. Like I
He did
remember
stupid shit.
I think was it the Paul Craig fight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kept jumping into guard.
Yeah,
The thing,
where
he just can't get the
kind of lost
takedown.
that fight for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he might run first into a counter from Reyes and get chinned. I hope I'm wrong though,
he
since I
he
like
is pretty
quite a bit.
durable, but he just can't. Ray's is pretty much impossible to take down from memory. I can't remember a time recently it happened. And Krylov's not the biggest like heavyweight, even though he fought a heavyweight. Ray's is actually a big athletic bloke. He's built, he's big, he's got a good takedown defense, and he hits quite hard. And he's coming off a win. He could get a little resurgence here. He's been out for a while, but I hope Krylov wins. I just I'm a bit apprehensive about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Reyes. Danny, what about you?
I'm gonna go against the grain and say I think Krylov might win this. He did take down Ryan Spann, if I remember correctly. But of course, Reyes is totally different from Ryan Spann. I just don't think Reyes is the same since he's been 2020 since the John Jones fight. I mean, his last two wins have been what, Smith and Jacoby, I think, if I remember correctly.
Did he
I think-
fight? Yeah, he did fight Smith.
Yeah, Smith was actually his last fight. So yeah, Reyes could win. You know, if he returns back to his old self, which he has been doing recently. But I just think Kylo's gonna win. I think probably takes him down once, and Reyes just gives up and subs him. Probably a triangle choke or something.
Krylov is a 1-2 favorite, so I
It's
don't.
actually
I think it
favourite.
should be a bit closer. Yeah, Krylov's a favorite,
That should be
1-2,
closer. Yeah.
but I think it should be a bit closer. I just think he's quite smothering, and Ray's can just bottle it, but
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to get him there.
Well, boys, that's the main card covered. Should we look at the prelims?
Yep. Might as well.
Prelims are not really
What
worth
card?
covering, to be honest.
I mean,
we've got
there's
I can talk about Dan Ige
Dan
and
Ige
Woodson.
and
That's
Sean
about it.
Woodson.
Really.
Jim Miller, Chase Hooper.
Jim Miller's still
I like-
fucking fighting in 2020.
Still
But I
fighting.
like Chase Hooper. I'm actually a Chase Hooper fan. I think he's a cool guy. He's a bit weird, but I think he's actually got quite a bit of talent that's hidden there that he can grow into.
I mean, there was meant to be a fight on this card. It got cancelled, obviously. I think it was Jeff Neal and Carlos Prates.
Yes.
Yeah. Now Prates is now going to fight Ian Gary. What do you guys think of that fight? I think
Good
they've
fight.
announced it.
Ian's winning 49-46.
Listen, that's not a crazy prediction. I could see Gary win this.
He's too careful.
Ian Gary's a good fighter. I know
He
he's a
actually
cringe.
is.
He's a cringe ball.
He lost against Shafkat, but he really impressed me that fight. He impressed me more than Shafkat impressed me.
Yeah, Shavkat stopped him down. I said Shavkat would win the decision. I thought it'd be 49-46. I think Shavkat is a bit overrated and Gary is underrated. Gary is just quite boring, but it doesn't mean he's bad. I think he's quite smart. For his age, he's wicked, mate. He's what, like 20? I think he's like my age. He's like 27. The guy is really not bad for his age.
Very clean striker as well. Just great to watch.
27, that's young.
I'm telling you, if Gary gets past this guy, who do you think's next for him? If he gets past Prates?
The loser of JDM Bilal.
I can maybe you could even feed Leon. Eat Leon.
Yeah,
Leon.
that fight would be shit, but they have a bit of beef.
Yeah, they used to be at the same gym, and then Gary got kicked out.
Yeah, I can't remember why he got kicked out a couple of times.
For being a diva, apparently.
He weren't cleaning the mats. That was it.
You know, but you know what? Since we've got Michael here, there's one little topic I want to touch on. Yeah, that's Conor McGregor. So recently he's come out in an interview, and it sounds like the guy's done in it. He's saying, "Oh, I've got other things I want to do." I want to get Michael's thoughts. This guy used to be a Conor McGregor superfan, and now he can't stand the guy. I just want to understand the 180 on him. Oh, come on, Mike!
Michael?
Don't leave us now, man.
Michael.
He's vanished. He's vanished.
Leon.
Do any of you want to comment? on
I
it?
think Connor's a fucking
Uh,
idiot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it took a
wait, is
while.
that
sorry.
Mike?
Easier.
Is
Yeah.
he?
Listen, people think the 180 is because of the recent case that he lost. I hated that guy long before that. It's just he's just annoying, isn't he? Like all the reasons I was a fan of him, he doesn't do. He doesn't fight, and some of his takes are diametrically opposed to my view of the world, and he's just a bit of a dick. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he's just lost a sexual assault case. He's been liable for sexual assault. I read the case, and some of the details are really uncomfortable to read, and I don't see why anyone would be a fan of him in 2025. At least John Jones is still fighting, so I can kind of get why people would be a fan of his despite his history. But with Conor, there's no redeeming qualities. Whenever I ask someone why they're still a fan, they say, "Well, he knocked out Aldo that one time. Like that was 10 years ago. Get over it." I know there's someone in this call who is still a fan, but maybe he can explain himself.
You know what? When it comes to sports, especially when it's stuff as people as polarizing as him, there's a loyalty aspect to it. I appreciate it took a while to accept that he's not coming back. I did think he wanted to fight Chandler. I thought Dana did not help icing him. He's a bit of a victim of his own success, where that he's so famous that if he injures himself, they can't just book him next week. They'll have to find an international fight week. They'll have to find an MSP card, etc. Yeah, the guy's a dick, yeah, but
I think
I
that's
also
waffle,
stand by
bro.
what.
I think him not being able to be rebooked, he's had loads of fights in his career that weren't in MSG or weren't International Fight Week. Even when he fought Khabib, that wasn't on a special week. It was just a random day in October. When he fought Cerrone, it
Yeah,
was
but
in January. Like if they wanted to book him, they could book him. Like that, the Chandler fight was what, a year and a half ago, and he hasn't been booked. The
no, I don't
reason
think they
he's
want
not
to book him.
fighting, I don't think he wants to be booked. I think he just wants to
Yeah.
waffle on Twitter. I think he had no intention of ever fighting Chandler. He only did it for attention. And the UFC aren't booking him because they know he's not serious.
I think the UFC has kind of
I
shot
just hope
themselves in the
that
foot a little bit with the lack of stars. They haven't focused on pay per view. Got Power Slap, Melt Boys, Nina Drama, all that shit. Yeah, now they're like, oh, we ain't making no pay per views. It's like, well, you're not really nurturing the stars that you need to. Do you know what I mean? Not Connor, obviously.
I just hope that before Conor retires, I see him get chinned by Jake Paul. That would be it for me. That would be
I wouldn't be
like
surprised.
Christmas for me.
I wouldn't be
fighting.
surprised either.
Maybe
Not a
even
big guy.
KSI doing it.
Nah, I don't see KSI
I,
doing it. I'm not having that.
I hate
I
KSI.
can
I
see
just
Jake
want
Paul
to
doing
see
it.
it.
I'd rather Jake Paul do it.
Conor embarrassed by a YouTuber. That would be it for me.
Jake Paul, I don't think KSI would chin Connor. I think Jake Paul would chin Connor just because, bro, he's a big guy and KSI is whack, bro. He is whack.
Also, guys, what are your thoughts on his let's call it an essay case? What are your thoughts on that?
No
What,
comment.
the one that just happened, Nikita Hand.
He lost.
It's a weird one because I wouldn't put it past him. He's been accused so many times. He's definitely a fucking wrong'un, bro, innit? He's got ties to like crime rings in Ireland. Everyone in Ireland hates him for a reason. I don't think Nikita Hand is a like pinnacle of truth, but I'm not gonna just blow her case out the water. Some dodgy shit definitely happened. I just don't think either
So
either
you
side
think he
is.
did it?
I think
What is
probably
it
some
turning
bad
into?
shit went down, but I don't think some of the shit she said was correct. I just don't really like when she said, "Oh, this is what happened." She said, "What did he say? That this is this is how it felt when Khabib took me down 3 times." Bro, that's a Chat GPT response, man, isn't it? That wasn't said.
I think
I don't
he said that, bro.
really.
Connor's so mentally ill. I
Fair
could see
enough.
him saying some goofy things like
Yeah,
that.
he is tapped. He is tapped. To be fair, you never know how he might have PTSD, Vietnam flashbacks from that fight.
It's one of them ones,
We
isn't it?
gave him PTSD.
It's one of them ones,
Mm.
isn't it? The guy's on fucking bags of coke. I think Conor McGregor, yeah, the coke this guy's on, yeah, he might be dead before 50. Like, I can see it. I can see it in the headlines already. Conor
But
McGregor
he's just
One can only hope.
overdose.
he's this generation's Mike Tyson. That's all it is.
Respect
You know
Tyson.
what? That's
Also, I think his career in fighting is also massively overrated. People act like he's this Ngannou level fighter. The only person he's ever flatline KO'd was Aldo, who's currently a bantamweight. Like he lost to Nate Diaz. He arguably lost the rematch. He ducked Tony
Didn't lose
Ferguson.
the
He lost-
rematch.
He did not
Didn't
lose the
lose
rematch,
the
mate.
rematch.
Serious.
He so clearly won the rematch.
He arguably, I don't think he lost, but he arguably lost the rematch. There's an argument there. Or he arguably drew the rematch.
You
I
know
thought it
what?
was a clear 48-46.
We'll see. I reckon we'll
So
see
overrated,
Conor. We'll see Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz trilogy in boxing sometime. I think that's
That's what
I
I'd like to
believe
see. If
in
they both
both.
retire
I
on
think
that,
it would
then
be
fuck
very
it.
shit though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah,
We're gonna.
yeah.
Everyone's gonna watch. Everyone's gonna watch it.
Yeah,
So,
you
That's
watch.
what people
I'll
say.
legally stream it.
it's gonna be
Huh?
hilarious.
I'll stream it. Yeah. But you know what? It's like when Pereira replaced Conor with the youth. Like everyone, like you had these 13-year-olds. Like, oh, this is way better. I was like, what are you talking about? Everyone, let's be real, would have rather seen Conor Chandler. Think what you want of him. Whether he
100%.
fights Jake Paul, KSI, but he could go to Power Slap and fight Jake Paul, and it would sell 2 million pay-per-views. Do you know what I mean? Like
It's box
that's
office.
what I
Isn't it?
think.
At the end
Yeah, of course
the
it is.
day.
That's what's kind of wrong with the UFC at the moment is people are investing too much time in people that are not pay-per-view stars. People don't want to really watch them on the level of that, and they're just fooling themselves. I think the UFC really need to do something to pump someone up to get
But
to that level
it's
or anywhere near it.
They
it's
tried to
their
do it
own fault.
with O'Malley,
Don't
but
fall.
he just
It's
wasn't
don't
good
fall
enough.
though.
It's their own fault. They don't like
Just I agree
individuals.
with what Fatso said. I think Dana's as much fault as Connor is in this. Dana can't deal with big egos. If he doesn't want to deal with you, he just wouldn't go for it. So I feel like Connor checked out years ago. It's been years since he checked out. Since he
Yeah,
lost to Poirier in 2021, I think he fully checked out then. He's got his own
Yeah.
proper 12 and he's co-owner with Bare Knuckle now. So I think he's fully
hmm
checked out and we ain't going to
I
see
think
him
Dana might be
again.
checked out as well.
I agree with that, to be honest. But I think that's a
Dana's
conversation
on
for
his
a
way
different
out.
day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dana's
that's
been
next week's topic.
Dana's been hit with the Saudi money in it. But
Yeah, words.
before I round it off, yeah, just a quick little point. We need to stop looking. Fatso made this point earlier, yeah. At morality, yeah, of MMA fighters. Why do fans look at MMA fighters for morality? These guys punch and kick each other's heads in for a living. Do you know what I mean? Stop looking up to these
They do it
people.
for
They're not
PR.
role models. They're not
They're
role
not
models.
yeah,
People
exactly.
need
They're
to
not role
people need to stop looking at combat
Yeah.
sports athletes as role models. They are role models for fitness and entertainment and whatever, and like grit and determination, whatever you want to call it. They're not role models in life. People literally bad people sell better than anyone else in combat sports. That's in boxing, in even like WWE and wrestling. It's the heel vibes. MMA it happens, yeah. People just need to accept that and stop like rip down the fucking Robert Whittaker and Dustin Poirier posters they've got in their bedroom ceiling and just get on with it. Just let them fight. That's what they beat the shit out of people for a living in a cage. I don't get why people are like, oh, he's a scumbag. It's like it doesn't matter. You're gonna watch him. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
But yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day, lads. Thank you for joining us, Michael and Fatso. We've got to get you
Can't wait.
back for the next UFC episode. But yeah, guys, that's been Mission Podcast UFC 314 preview and predictions. Like, comment, subscribe. Get at the TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, see you guys next time.